Good morning. Good morning. Oh, it says I had a bad stream to start. That's the first time that's happened. Sorry, I actually had a client texting me. I wanted to read it. What do we got here? Well, we got no camera. We have low connection. Where are we? Let me see. I do have the record button pressed, and I feel a lot better now. So, how are you? Fix my shirt. How are you this morning? We've got the microphone on. I had a wonderful live stream to start yesterday. You know, about once a week I'll get one that really I feel like there's pieces of something that's good, something that I would want to listen to. Say, what do you mean you put live streams together every day? Why just two? Well, some of them are just not that great. If you don't have some sort of feeling about the topic, just not it's hard to put anything in it. And that's why I think that I give a lot more credence to like people that are paid to talk for. Can you imagine about talking for 3 hours on the radio and keeping people's attention? I mean, it's not easy to do. I'm mad because one of my steadfast viewers isn't in my setup. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm not going to let it get to me because just not. I was late by a minute, apparently. Okay, so yesterday, let's talk about what happened because some of you saw it last night. So I was doing the live stream and I missed a button. And I actually shared the wrong screen, and so I was sharing a screen for my one browser when I needed to be on the other browser, but I had the article on both. So I didn't catch it. Today, how are we doing? Do we have? Okay. I gotta fix that. So let's see. I don't know. I'm gonna put this here. I don't know if I want to jump into things like right away or what I want to do. Kind of when you have like yesterday was so good. Yesterday was so good. And you're like, and maybe not all of it, but the first 30 minutes were just fantastic. So it's like, well, when you have that happen, what do you do? I don't know. I don't know what one does. Sorry. Good Lord. All right. So you just try again. That's all I can do. It helps if you're in a good mood. It helps if you're like present, mentally present. But I don't know how. Like I could talk for 3 hours, but it wouldn't be interesting. I don't think. But I'll do it sometime. I'll do a marathon stream just to, I don't know, just to do it. All right, so today's Tuesday. Weather's 51 degrees for a high in St. Louis today. So if I have to do anything outside, it would be today. And then I'd like to show some houses. Things are coming to market. This weekend's looking good, but we talked about that yesterday. We could have serious, not great. My Google stats for the day. Not as good as I was hoping, but really good in one spot, more than it's been in like a month. So I don't know what I did differently. There's a lot of things that I want to stay on YouTube's good side. So I try not to do something too racy. Yesterday, creepy fellow calling real estate agents and saying he's going to rape them. It was a bit dicey. I don't feel like I'm too political, but I don't want to be political, really. It depends on what your definition is. I would love to know someone's definition of safety. I think that's the most misused word in the English language. Say this because everything is for your safety. You want to close a park, it's for your safety. You want to close down the government, for your safety. You want to close down the economy, it's for your safety. Everything's for your safety. It's for your safety. And I get safety, like preventing something bad from happening to you. And so how do you attack safety? I don't want safety. I refuse. You can take your safety and go away. Because isn't it kind of like the thought is that someone's doing something for you? Like, oh, these people are thinking for me. They're giving me safety. Oh, thank you. I was watching from afar this morning the Carhartt debate. Carhartt says, we don't care if there was a Supreme Court decision on vaccination. You're going to get your vaccination if you work for us, or you're going to get fired. And then, I'm watching on Twitter, which is not real life. We have to understand that at all times. Twitter is not real life. I'm watching this and people are saying, good for the company for standing up to safety. We're going to have safety. Good for them. It's good that you care about your employees. All right. And then you have these tweets about, like, this one guy tweeted, I've been a carpenter for 30 years and I'm so happy I'm vaccinated. Thanks, Carhartt. It's like, I didn't bother to go to his bio. I didn't bother to go to the profile. I don't care that much, but I don't know. It's fascinating because to me, you should be able to use these. You probably have. There's no question people have. Use these platforms to just twist everything to your advantage. You do it right. I don't know. It's fascinating. It's like, oh, I'm outraged every day. Like, oh my God, what are you doing? Like, so I wake up, like I said, I wake up and I'm pretty confused when I wake up and disoriented. And then, like, the first thing I see is, Carhartt. And so I'm like, oh, they make jeans. I like Carhartt. And then I read the thing and it's like, And you can only cancel so much, right? Pretty soon you're left with nothing. So when I was in college in the 90s, Disney was under attack for some of their policies. Okay. And then, so you couldn't watch Disney? All right. Well, what can I watch? It's weird. It's weird. So now I can't buy Carhartts, which is kind of funny. In my life, I used to love Carhartt because I lived in Michigan and it was cold. It was cold and miserable. No offense to people in Detroit, but compared to St. Louis, it's cold in the winter, and I needed warm clothing, so I bought Carhartt stuff, and I was working outside, and it kept me warm, and then I think it kind of and I'm not saying I'm an original Carhartt guy. I think I worked Dickies before that, so I'm not an OG Carhartt. But then I liked the brand enough that I was wearing their stuff, and I got a couple hats and wore the hats. But the funny thing happened, I got married, and my wife said, "I don't like your carpenter jeans. I think they look stupid." I was like, "Well, I like them." And she said, "Well, we're going to buy you some other jeans." And so now I'm wearing skinny jeans, but I'm not a skinny person, so it's kind of weird. But I'm not wearing carpenter jeans. There's no ability to do that anymore. And so I didn't leave Carhartt. The brand left me. No, that wouldn't work. I left Carhartt because my wife told me to, and it had nothing to do with their vaccination status. I don't understand these things. And so how do I put this into perspective of where I'm going? Okay, so I'm going to Google Trends, and we're going to go there together today because it was very difficult to find something. I did find something. It was also very difficult because the changes on Google search, even from yesterday, changed between the two browsers I was on. Not shady at all. Well, let's go to the Google Trends and start there, okay? So here we go. So we don't look at today because today hasn't happened yet. But we go to Monday, okay? And so the first thing is Betty White birthday. So 10 million searches. So what do we like? Betty White was beloved. We get that. She was part of entertainment or Hollywood. They tend to get the most searches. And she's dead. So that also gets you ranked pretty high. So do I have anything in common with Betty White? Like, would people search Deerwood Realty or John Chink 10 million times just yesterday? No. Moon Knight. Now, I don't know what that is, okay? But it's a trailer that reveals Oscar Isaac as Marvel's newest, I don't know, it's 500,000 searches. Okay, but it's Hollywood again, and we've noticed that Hollywood seems to be able to get their information out. They seem to know how to pull the levers of search to get people, to see their stuff. Not a complaint. I would say I'm impressed. I would say I'm impressed. The ability to get to just manufacture so much interest in people to where they will search for stuff like, I don't know what Moon Knight's about. Okay. The third search is the Lakers, which is a sports team, and we've said, man, if you can figure out a way to hitch your wagon to a sports team, that would be great. But these people that are looking at Lakers are probably not looking for homes for sale or homes to buy. We got the next one, Purdue basketball, also a sporting team, right? Their basketball team. Then we got Cooper Kupp. That's a football player. Okay, I think. We got Josh Whedon. Josh says he was powerless to avoid Buffy affairs, denies, and I don't want to read the rest. Now, if I can help it, I like to avoid like scandalous stories where I'm throwing somebody under the bus. I don't like to throw people under the bus. I mean, if you murdered somebody and it's like proven, maybe, or just a bad person, but I don't know this person. I've never met him. I don't know anything about him. And then it says Jim Carrey, well, he's Hollywood. James Earl Jones, Hollywood. Mike Tyson, not Hollywood, sports athlete. Kirsten Dunst, she's was an actress. Larry Fitzgerald is a football player. Les Grobstein is a Chicago radio host, sports radio. Heidi Klum is a model. Mike Todd that was a weird story, and I don't want to deal with it. After I don't. It's weird. Does people actually just search up? They search after. That's Tonga. We talked about that yesterday. This fella here, I got no interest in talking about him. He's a part owner of the Warriors. That's a basketball team, so he's sports related because of that. Muhammad Ali, boxer. 2 boxers on the top 20. Every Time I Die is a band. I don't know what kind of band. Michelle Go, which is what I picked, and Mike Mayock. He's a football GM that's looking for a new bit of employment. So that's what I've got on. I mean, normally Google Trends give me something that's not death and would be interesting, but today, not good. So now that I'm here, let me go back to this. I did want to talk about yesterday because I feel like Livestream chat and comments knows more than I do. And so here we go. Here's what happened. I played the live stream. I missed on my transition. I was in the wrong screen. And as soon as I got done with the live stream, I was like, I need to go and I need to go blur out some stuff because I don't want this on the internet. Well, that got to be problematic. First, if I could have downloaded it right away, that'd have been good, but I couldn't. In fact, I can't. I checked last night at like 10. I still couldn't download it. Today I can. So Google is processing the live stream, and that's great. That's helpful. It helps me to get out in front of more people in theory. So I'm okay with that. But I couldn't download the live stream. And if I were to use my copy of the live stream, which I didn't have because I forgot to hit the record button, because that's typical with me. Even if I would have downloaded it and then re-uploaded it, it wouldn't have appeared in my live streams. It would have appeared in my videos. And I like to keep my live streams separate from my videos. But there's also the issue yesterday. I had some great content that was not going to be seen by anyone. And so what I'd like to do is break those pieces off and put them up as videos because, sometimes people don't want to commit. When I see video length anymore, if I see like 20 minutes for just a video that's not a stream, I'm a bit much. And 40 minutes, I mean, I'm not going to watch it. And it's not, will I watch some things? Yes, but other things, no. It's got to be pretty fascinating or something that I already know about. Excuse me. So there were things I wanted to cut out, and there was some editing I wanted to do. And I couldn't do any of that because I didn't have the video, and I needed to download it from YouTube, which I didn't know if you could download streams, like as the creator of the stream. Turns out you can. I tried it this morning because it finally allowed me to, but it was going to take 15 minutes. I don't have 15 minutes this morning. Like you heard me, I was texting and getting the live stream ready, and I've got to do some things. So anyway, what did I learn? I didn't learn much other than, yes, I can download things. 2, it's going to take time for YouTube to process the live stream, probably 24 hours. So don't expect to be able to get back to something quickly. And I did not solve can I upload a live stream that I downloaded with the fixes that I made. Those are the things that I learned. So now that I've gone over that, I feel like we can go back to it. So about this, okay? I've got nothing to go on. So I picked this story because I'm trying to build out what I would say is I need to do better at explaining my thoughts in a coherent way online, right? I'm trying to pause that because I don't want to get any copyright strikes. So it says, so you see the headline. Have you heard about this story? It's not a good one. It's not a positive one. A woman gets pushed in front of a train in New York City and is killed. She is an Asian woman, and the fellow that pushed her was a black man. But I don't care. I don't care. Somebody's dead. Okay? That's the issue. Someone's dead. Okay, so it says a deranged homeless man allegedly shoved an Asian woman to her death in front of an oncoming subway train. The horrifying episode happened at 9:40, just 9 minutes after the man was caught on video on the platform. This woman was waiting for a southbound platform when she was shoved onto the train tracks and struck by an R train. The incident was unprovoked, and the victim does not appear to have any interaction with the subject. The suspect had first approached another woman who was not Asian, who became alarmed and moved away. She feels that he was about to physically push her onto the train. As she's walking away, she witnesses the crime where he pushes our other victim in front of the train. So one lady got away, and then he pushes another one. And you can see the guy's a really great situation there. So then at 9:53, he walked into the precinct and declared that he pushed a woman in front of a train. He was arrested and charged on second-degree murder. So, in theory, it says he has no known address, so he's homeless. It says Marshall, who has a gray beard and was wearing a black hooded jacket, stuck his tongue out at photographers as he was being led. Okay. He's crazy, talking gibberish. Later, he yelled, "Go F yourself." Let's not make a joke from yesterday. And then he said that he claimed it was God. That was God that did it. Yes, because I'm God. Yes, I did it. I'm God. I can do it. She stole my jacket. That's why. So New York City, this Manhattan District Attorney says, who was taking heat for being too soft on crime, would not comment on potential charges. When asked if he had to be worried about the suspect being released immediately from jail, he said no. So this is a fascinating line. It says the NYPD says its hate crime task force was reviewing the incident, but it wasn't being officially investigated as a hate crime. So, okay. I'm not for like hate crimes. I think anything that happens negative, throw the book at somebody. Doesn't matter. That makes me weird. I get it. Anyway, the fellow has a criminal record with 3 arrests going back to 1998 when he was busted for robbery, the latest coming in 2019 for criminal possession of a controlled substance. Served 2 years in a state prison for attempted robbery and was released August 2021. He was accused of entering a man's car at 6th Avenue and Waverly Place on August 9, 2017, simulating a weapon and saying, "I have a gun, give me your cash." Okay, so the idea of rehabilitation comes into play. It's not mentioned, but it comes into play. So when you go to prison, you're supposed to be able to be rehabilitated and come out a better person. That's the lofty philosophical explanation for prison in the United States. We're going to reform. It says has also had 3 run-ins with police as an emotionally disturbed person. So is this person taking city resources? So 1998, 2019, 2021, 2017. Yes. It says, now, then it says, this, I got another article here. I got this article here about the sister of the man. But the woman who identified herself as his sister said he has a history of mental illness. He's been on medication for over 20 years and in and out of mental hospitals in New York. She said her brother is originally from Haiti, once managed a parking lot making good money. Curtis Silva said he's seen the suspect many times ranting in the subway. He said he would have a conversation, then all of a sudden he will have a psychotic disorder. Then it turns into Asians being attacked, which was an Asian. But again, I don't want anybody to get killed. Wawa Chin, president of the Chinese American Citizens Alliance of Greater New York, called the incident horrifying. It's a horrible attack on yet another one of our citizens. This has to stop. We have to make the streets and subways safe for all of our citizens, especially our Asian women. I agree with that. Retired NYPD detective called the homeless and emotionally disturbed population in the subway system former Mayor Bill de Blasio's gift to his successor, who has pledged to clean up the subways. Why do taxpayers and law-abiding citizens have to put up with the crime and homeless people who dwell in the subway cars? This is the worst I've ever seen transit look in decades. And here we go. Adams, who has vowed to make the troubled system safer, there's the word, said at a press briefing that we are not going to lose focus on safety in the subway system. And that's a tough line for a politician to say. We are not going to lose focus on the safety in the subway system. And that he had already rolled out his plan to do so. So, does anyone think that they've lost focus on safety in the subway system? They just don't do anything. And then it says, we had a robust plan for this station today. We had 6 officers assigned to it. There were 2 officers in the southbound platform at the southern end when the incident occurred. Unfortunately, these incidents do occur. They're rare, but this one is harrowing and disturbing, she said. But you know what? I've heard about this before, and I've seen video where someone gets pushed in there and they go pick them up before the train gets there. I don't know. I mean, so rare is relative. The mayor has a lot of work to do to make the Big Apple safe again. Could have been me. It's scary, the woman said. Another person says she tries to be extra cautious on the platforms and stand away from the tracks. I think that's probably number one right now. So when the homeless guy does shove you, at least you're, not close to the tracks. I just think something needs to change because it's getting worse. I don't understand about that. How can it get, aren't we the most developed country in the world? Why would things be getting worse? They tried with the COVID to clean the subways, but I feel like with the homeless, it's gotten worse. We need to do something about it soon. It's just terrible. See, that's what I'm saying. So here's the next line. The shoving was the second one in the same Times Square platform in a little more than 2 months. So I don't know that it's that rare. On number 12th, a mugger pushed a woman, who was also Asian, onto the tracks. She was rescued by Good Samaritans before the train came. And here we go. Here's the statistic that's just fascinating. Through December 12th of 2021, strap hangers, I don't know what that means, had been pushed onto the tracks 27 times, up from 25 during the same period in 2020. I don't know what PBA, I don't know what they are. But he said this underscores our current crisis. I don't know what this is. The city should absolutely provide help and services, real services for those who need it, but those who are a danger to themselves and others cannot be allowed to remain in the subways and on the streets. We know there are common sense solutions on the table. We need to get them up and running ASAP. But are there common sense solutions to get this situation under control? I don't know. Oh, I just got rid of the article. But I can put the article back. Let me put the article back. I'm sorry. Microsoft Edge it has a delay. You say, why do you use Edge? Because I use it because it's just easier to the settings, and I don't have to be logged in all the time. I don't like to be logged in all the time on my browsers. Just like to be done with it. Okay. So this article here says, oh God, did I forget to do it again today? Ugh. Here. If I missed it, I'm sorry. It wasn't that great of an article. You heard it. Okay, so I don't want to play anything. It says the sister of the deranged ex-con accused of fatally shoving a strap hanger told the Post on Monday that her sibling never should have been free to walk the streets. She said she wept as she recalled she once even begged a hospital to keep her troubled brother locked up after he was derailed by mental illness. He was a hard-working man. He was a giving man. At 14 years old, he started shoveling snow. He drove a taxi cab. He worked from the bottom to move up to become a manager at a parking place in Manhattan. He always liked New York. Somehow in his 30s, something happened and he lost it. He kept seeing and hearing people after him. One of my sisters took him in. He stayed, and then he said, I have to go back to New York. She said her brother was diagnosed with schizophrenia, his conditioning worsening after their mother died 23 years ago. She was taking care of him. She had to call the police on him a couple times, but after that, he went downhill. He's been out of mental hospitals at least 20 years. I remember begging one of the hospitals to let him stay because once he's out, he didn't want to take his medication. It was the medication that kept him going. The last time we spoke, he said they were coming after him. I could tell it was his sickness. He swore that they were watching him, hiding in closets. And she said, this thing is tearing me apart. It's like I can't even talk about it. My heart goes out to whoever lost their loved one, whether it was a mother, a sister, and a daughter. I would just like to put that out there to apologize, to feel for him. It's tearing me apart. My brother has been sick for so long. Of course, I never thought something like this would happen. It's not only my brother. I don't think enough people look at mental illness like a disease, like cancer, AIDS, or anything else. It's an illness. I'm his oldest sister, and it really breaks my heart. There's nothing I could do. And they let him out on the street. Unfortunately, they never had my number to even call me or tell me, go get your brother. Ask what should happen to a brother now. She said, get some help. Don't go locking him up like an animal with people who are really murderers. Get him some help. I'm not saying let him out, but get him some help. People who saw him know he's crazy. All right. Crazy. I'll accept that. I'll accept that as an explanation. I feel bad, though. I feel bad. I'm getting phone calls. So let's go back here real quick. So, I mean, it's fair to feel bad for the guy. What are you going to do? I mean, he's sick, right? Now, we go to St. Louis. In the county, we have people begging on the street all the time now. We never used to have that happen. You go to Jefferson County, nothing. No beggars. Why is that? More people in St. Louis County? I don't know. But I feel bad. Bad situation. Woman's dead. Fella's going to get locked up. Says he's mentally not with the program. Doesn't look like he's with the program. So that's my story for today. So let's get to some houses. Okay. Let's get to the right buttons. Got 3 houses today. Fresno, California. One for $2.7 million, one for $2.6 million, and one for $2.1 million. London Properties has the 1 and 3 top listings. 5 bedrooms, 6 baths, about 7,000 square feet on a 0.3 acre lot. 61 pictures, too many. 50 is enough. It doesn't have the garage. There's a little thing back there. Now, no offense. You got a $2.7 million home. Could we do some landscaping? I mean, that's where I'm at there. What do we got here for the entrance? Okay, so there's the entrance coming in. So again, it's not in a style that I'm used to. Kind of reminds me of the house yesterday. Okay. What's enough? I mean, it's not doing anything for me. Big kitchen. Let's see. Let's look at the property details. Incredible once in a lifetime opportunity to own the perfect combination of one of Fresno's finest luxury homes, along with the most beautiful river and bluff views anywhere in town. Let's see how long it's been listed. Sold in 2004. Listed only in 2021. Same price. Listing removed and then relisted. So, does it have a chance to sell? It's been on the market for 40 days. 2.6. 5-bedroom, 4-bath. 6,300 square feet. What do we got here? 220 days on the market. Built in 2007. Sold in 2004. Listed in June of 2021. Removed in December and now relisted in January. Okay. 63 pictures. Isn't it weird though how we see like certain places there's more pictures than others? Like yesterday, that was Albuquerque. No listings more than, oh, look at that. That's nice. That's nice. I mean, that's cool looking. So to me, this is a better listing than the other one. So if I'm taking out buyers and we're looking, I'm buying this house over the other one. That's why you have to have competitive pricing. I mean, look at that. That looks slick. Okay, I like this house. But again, I'm not going to go through that many pictures. That's just not my thing. Let's look at this one. 2.1 million. 5 bedrooms, 8 baths. By the way, these are in the same 2 zip code. This is not. So I don't know. I don't know how that was. 5,500 square feet, almost a half-acre lot. Been on the market 101 days. Sold in 2017. So that's not bad. Been on the market since October. Elegance abounds through every room and each corner. This cornerstone custom home in Barrington Estates will take your breath away. Entering the home, you are presented with a grand staircase, a beautiful formal living room with fireplace that opens to a courtyard with a fireplace and fountain. Every aspect of this home says luxury. A house designed with fluid and open floor plan. The primary bedroom has an ensuite bathroom and 2 large cedar-lined walk-in closets and a generously sized soaking tub conveniently located on the first floor. Oh, the last line I just want to get to is, note, bed, bath, and square feet is different than the tax records. Buyer to verify if important. Square footage is important. So this is in Fresno. That's cool. I mean, the kitchen's nice. It should be though, right? For 2 million. Hey, there's a dog in the picture. I don't know if you can see it. Let me move it. I don't know if I can. I don't know if you can see it because my face might be in the way, but I can check. Yeah, there's a dog. See the dog right there? Yeah. These are hard to clean. Theater room's nice. This is just me. Like, get rid of the little thing under the toilet for the pictures. Just, do we lock up with pictures here? See how our thing's set up there. Okay, here we go. We're back. 35. Ping pong table outside. I like the way they've put this. I like. Oh, what do we got here? Aston Martin. I like the way they put this listing together because you got the front of the house and you got the back of the house. All right, that's it. Let's get into some articles. Here we go. 4 potential deal killers you can't afford to ignore. Well, that seems interesting. What are they? If you've watched the news recently, you've likely seen stories of remorseful homebuyers who waived a home inspection to get their offer accepted. That's never a good idea. Buyers who moved into their new home and find themselves facing significant unforeseen expenses are not likely to be happy campers. And while sellers are free to sell their home as is, that won't necessarily stop a frustrated home buyer from suing. The extent of the problems uncovered to the cost to remediate is generally the trigger. If I had known about this issue, I would never have bought this house, is the mantra of the remorseful homebuyer. It's the same issues that often kill deals when found prior to closing. Okay. Let's go over this. Okay, so septic repairs. Many lenders will require septic inspection to be performed. So this is not a service home buyers can often waive. In Missouri, at least where I live in St. Louis, you can waive the septic repair or septic inspection, but that would be bad. But septic work is so subjective. And if you have a good person come and inspect it versus a terrible person, at least scare them off. Removing the tank is generally straightforward, but the concern is in this situation is leaking. If the tank had leaked into the soil, even if it's abandoned, the cleanup can be costly. So we don't really have buried fuel tanks that I know of. It's not something we did. Mold is a tough one. So there's for St. Louis, you can have a mold test performed. Like 1,000 different kinds of mold. Some are worse than others. Everyone's worried about black mold, so they see mold and it's black and they think it's black mold, but that's not the case. As you guys may have remembered, I did go into a house one time in St. Peter's where mold had taken over the whole house. The man in front of me that had gone in before me ran out of the house and threw up. And then when I went in, I was like, ugh. It was bad. So I ran out too. Didn't throw up. I was sick for the rest of the day though. So, yeah, that's true. And then underground sewer line. This is a tricky one as most homeowners aren't aware of the fact that with the municipal waste system, they're responsible for the sewer line from the house to the street. That's not 100% true. In St. Louis, that is true, you are. However, in the county, you pay money so that the county, and then it's if you pay, there's got a sewer lateral fee, and as long as you pay it, you get 3 contractors out. They look at they take the inspection, and then they fix it. That's how that works. Now in the city, there's no protection. and you pay. If there's something wrong between your house and the street, that's on you. Okay, it says, well, and while not part of a standard home inspection, more and more homeowners are asking for this service and finding issues. So I always say we should take a look at the sewer camera. It's not fun. It's not the best. It's not the best video I've ever seen, but yeah. So it says when these pipes collapse or get blocked with tree roots, for example, the cost to repair is not inexpensive. A savvy home seller would want to get their own sewer line scoped or consider purchasing sewer line protection to pass on the homeowner and reduce this risk. Now, we would not do that in St. Louis. Typically, as custom would be, we would not get a pre-home inspection because we don't want to be disclosing stuff that we don't know about. Like if we don't know about the sewer, it's not a problem on the seller side. Only do we know about it when someone else mentions it. But it would be completely wrong to know about a problem with the sewer and then disclose it. Not disclose it, I mean. So say you got an inspection before for the sewer. They said, hey, you've got a real problem with the sewer. And then you say, okay. And then when on the disclosure, you write down, is there anything wrong with the sewer? You say, no. Not a lawyer. Not a lawyer. And so this one here, I wanted to talk about because. So I had to put an end cap on the other one. Yeah, there are things that'll kill a deal. Those are 4, but there's a lot more. A lot more things that'll kill a deal. I don't normally get into apartment complex concerns and stuff, but this is a kind of a human story to me. It says, with mass evictions underway at a Tampa apartment complex, residents say there's been dirt in their water for months. And so to me, it's not acceptable to have dirt in your water. Ever. It says residents being evicted from the Holly Court apartments in North Tampa say what once felt like home now seems like a jail. A black security gate surrounds the property. Inside, tall metal poles jut up toward the sky between the gray apartments. Cameras point in every direction from each pole, which line the center of the property. Signs posted by the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office let residents and visitors know the property is under 24-hour surveillance, and the law enforcement has full access to the cameras. But inside the departments, what the sheriff can't see is through the cameras is how disturbing residents' lives have been for 2 months now. One resident sent video showing dirt coming out of their faucet water, which runs off a well in the property. They've had a shower in the dirt water for months and drink bottled water instead of being able to use the tap. The dirt water started around the same time that a new owner took over the property. Since then, representatives from the company have come to the property several times. 6 people have been evicted at the Holly Court since November. During this time is when the gates and new surveillance system were installed. They showed up, put bars around our homes, and all of a sudden get out with hardly any notice. Says a tenant who has to use a pseudonym out of fear of retaliation from the landlords and possibly losing her security deposit, which she needs to find new housing. She, along with several other tenants in the 33-unit complex, many disabled and elderly, now face an uncertain future. They were led to believe things were stabilizing. She said that while the property managers initially seemed invested in making the apartment safer, they served 30-day notices of eviction to several of the remaining tenants. They don't want us talking to anybody after Bay 9 News showed up with their cameras and were talking to people. That's why they barely let you around here. The property management company did make it difficult to speak with residents. As I pulled up the property and called 2 tenants to see if they wanted to speak with me, a tenant approached the gate and said, "I'll let you in." A property manager jumped out of his car to let me know I was trespassing and that they're keeping an eye on the property. The tenant backed away. Even after seeing my press credentials, the manager said I'd have to talk with residents off the property. Then it says at the bottom in the post about evictions, the Tampa Tenants Unit said it plans to stand by the residents at the apartment complex as the evictions unfold. Many are elderly, disabled, and live on fixed income and unable to move. Tampa Tenants Union is ready to stand with them and fight for justice. I don't know. I don't want people living in a spot where there's dirt in their water. That make me a bad person? No. Is it not dirt? I don't know. But I just don't, I don't like it. Next story. Thought this was interesting. It says single-family homeowners typically accumulated $225,000 in housing wealth over 10 years. Really? What's this about? It says home ownership is the largest source of wealth among families, with the median value of a primary residence worth about 10 times the median values of financial assets held by families. Housing wealth gains are built up through price appreciation by paying off the mortgage. At the national level, a homeowner who purchased a single-family existing home 10 years ago would have gained $225,000 in home equity if the home were sold at the median sales price of $363,100 in 2021. I don't believe that. This is 2022. So this is 2011. That's coming off of the housing crisis of 2008, 2009. So what about that? This assumes you didn't put any money in the property. And if this were true, and there were some institutional investors out there that thought, hey, we could get more money if we just bought houses and single family homes, and if we, buy condos or apartments or things like that, let's just buy single family homes. Well, what if that were to happen? What would happen to the housing market? Homeowners who sell their property typically stay in their homes for 10 years. The gains in home equity come from paying down the mortgage. I understand that. But breaking down the $225,000 home equity gains over a 10-year period, 86% of the gains came from price appreciation of $193,600 and principal payments totaling $31,300. Over a 10-year period, home prices have increased 7.9% annually, a stronger appreciation compared to the 4.2% annual price pace the last 30 years. Boy, this is dicey when you use that kind of when you use the 10-year scale after a huge decline in housing. The past 5 years have seen increasingly rapid price appreciation. Well, yes, that's true. A homeowner purchased a typical home 5 years ago would have accumulated $144,400 in home equity, of which $121,800 are from price appreciation, or 84% of the total home equity gains. While home prices fell about 30% from the peak level in 2006, home prices have rebounded, with the median single-family existing home sales price rising at an annual pace of 3.2% from 2006 Q3 to 2021. Over a 30-year period, a homeowner purchased a typical single-family home would have likely accumulated $354,000 in home equity, with $258,000 in housing wealth home price gains, accounting for about 3/4 of the gain, with sales price increasing 4.2% over a 30-year period. This is just crazy talk. Like in my neighborhood, this did not happen. Homeowners in 15 metro areas likely to have accumulated home equity gains in 10 years, enough to purchase a typical family home. It says in 15 metro areas, 14 of which are in the West region, homeowners likely accumulated enough home equity to purchase a single-family existing home at the current price of $363,100. Home equity accumulated from these markets mean that the homeowners in these markets have the stability to use the home equity to purchase a primary, vacation, or secondary home for cash and make a sizable down payment on their purchases in metro areas. where the price of a home is less than the total home equity. Okay, so, and then it says over a 30-year period in some spaces, 15 of which are in the West, I can't read, gains are over 1 million. San Jose, San Francisco, Anaheim, and urban Honolulu. So if you bought a house then, but I mean, come on. 30 years ago, could you buy a house for, you know, 100,000 in San Francisco? 5-year home price appreciation outpaces wage growth in 97% of 182 markets. 182 metro areas. This is a fascinating article. It's a little too dense. It doesn't read well. The idea is that if you bought a house, there's statistics that say that you gained a lot of money. But that's a statistic and that's not real life. That's where I'm gonna leave that one. I'm gonna go here. I'm done for the day on articles because that one was really boring. There is a link to that article in the description, and you are free to read it at your own leisure. So, today was a fascinating day. I had more texts and more phone calls during the live stream than I've ever had. I had more people in the live stream than I've ever had, too. So, I got to do better. Just got to do better. Whenever somebody comes on the live stream and I see it, I get nervous because somebody's watching me. But I know you watch me at night. It's all part of it. Live and learn. Practice makes perfect. So, with that last article, my main disagreement off the top of my head is the ability, like purchasing power 30 years ago is dramatically different than it is now. Are we accounting of those gains? How much of it is price? How much of it is inflation based? How much has inflation eroded your value of your home over 30 years? That's where I'm at. I think the value of home ownership is great. I think if we could have lots of homeowners, that would be good. I read that one article where the guy said that it's bad because people all of a sudden don't want negative things in their neighborhood, or what is perceived negative, like they don't want drug rehab centers and things of that nature, homeless shelters in their neighborhood, so they fight against it. Whereas they otherwise would have been more than happy to put it in someone else's backyard when they didn't own property. I don't know what to think about that. Anyway, yeah, that's the day. I don't know. When you have a live stream like yesterday, and then you kind of come down to today, I'm a little disappointed. A little disappointed with my effort. I don't know what I could have done differently, but it just, maybe the articles weren't the greatest. Subject matter wasn't positive. So, I don't know. It looks like I got booted offline at one point in time today, which never happens. Let me check the, yeah, the stream disconnected at the 17-minute mark. So I didn't have a good stream at all. I'm sorry for missing on the stream. I don't know what's going on. It seems like Google and I haven't been getting along very well lately. Not so much like I was telling you a couple of days ago, the back end of YouTube was taking forever for me. So I don't know what that's about. So look, you guys have the rest of the day to get out there and enjoy life. Go out there. If you're going to be a real estate agent, go get 4 or 5 buyers, go get some sellers. If you're not in real estate and just watching for fun, thank you. About all I have. I will